What's up guys, Macadii here. Now today guys, a brand new video. Well, today we're doing something a little bit different from the norm. We're actually going to be having a chat about YouTube and PokeTubing and my advice on that, because as of tomorrow, my channel will be 1 year old, which is just absolutely crazy. I cannot believe it's been a year. Like, it's just, oh my goodness, yeah. And I've been watching back on my videos and it's just really crazy to see like how everything has changed through that year. But anyway, Mega Mogwai, aka Miguel, made an absolutely fantastic video about 2 days ago, if I remember rightly, outlining sort of his tips on, becoming a better YouTuber for the sort of smaller channels and stuff like that. And he made some really excellent points. And I sort of really want to build on top of that, because I feel I've got a few other things I'd like to add to that. Now, I want to make it clear, I'm not going to, profess to be some sort of like genius, mega YouTuber or anything like that. Like, I've only been doing YouTube for a year, but I feel I've done pretty well considering the current circumstances with the Pokemon game and the staleness and stuff. And like, I was here after the start of Auras hype and things like that, so I missed the boat on that. But yeah, so I feel I've got quite a few sort of other points to make as well. And well, yeah, go check that video out after this, because he makes some really excellent points on improving your content, and also the way that you treat other people, like other YouTubers, and when you try and sort of work with them and stuff like that. So definitely do check that out. He makes some really good points there. But I feel an area that's I always feel like it's been overlooked or is never really discussed. It's two things. First of all, how valuable is your sub count? And the second thing as well is like is the back end basically of YouTube is probably the best way to say it, and how you sort of run the back end of your channel, how you do your tagging, descriptions and stuff like that. So going on to sub count and things like that, I personally feel within the sort of, I don't know if it's within different communities, like I've only recently joined the PokeTubing community, probably within like 8 months or so at the very most. Like I'm very much a YouTube baby here. And like I've watched a few people before, but like basically that's it. I knew nothing about Pokemon drama or anything like that. But one thing I have noticed is a lot of people focus a lot on their sub count and go, oh man, I don't know, I've got 50 subscribers, or I'm just picking numbers out. But what I feel is that views is so much more important than your subscriber count. And it's, take my channel for example. When I look at the number of views that I get from subscribers versus the views I get from non-subscribers, the way my growth model works is I've got very much a growth model based channel. So, a search based channel where a lot of my views come from search. So this may really surprise a lot of you guys, but only 26% of my views actually come from subscribers each day. The rest of it come from non-subscribers, from either stumbling upon my channel, searching and finding my content from there and accidentally finding my content there, finding it from Google, or related videos. Which is just absolutely crazy when you think about it. Like the whole sort of like, oh, I've got, nearly 200 subs and stuff like that. That's actually like the icing on the cake, and the most of it comes from search and all those other things. And it all stems from the way that you approach the back end of your YouTube channel. And most importantly, how you tag and you describe, and also how you title your videos as well. Now, when I started YouTube, I made the mistake everyone does, where a lot of people do, and people still seem to be doing as well, where you think, right, I just keep making videos, subs will come to me, and I just get videos off subs, and that's how it works. So I ended up making, a session 5 days a week or whatever, however it worked. And like it worked okay. Like I would get 5 or 6 say subs a week, and it sort of slowly picked up from there. And within sort of 2 or 3 months, I was maybe coming up to maybe 150 subscribers or something like that. And then it was around that point there where I was still sort of gaining subs, but I was noticing that actually my views weren't really decreasing. They were actually in fact sort of decreasing down and getting worse and worse from there. And I was just trying to work out what on earth it was. And I had probably another month or so where my views, they weren't sort of dramatically decreasing there, but they were sort of almost flat, but definitely declining from there. And So I spent a lot of time sort of looking into it, trying to work out what I was doing wrong. And basically the growth model I was basing it on was the fact that I was just relying on my subs watching the content. My tags were terrible, my description was terrible, my titling was terrible. And what that meant was I was relying on a pool of, say, 200 people to then watch my videos for, like, say a month. Now, if you got the same 200 people to watch your videos for a month, you're going to get people dropping off and getting less interested and stuff like that. So that explained why I was getting so few views from there. And just shows why it's not really the best growth model in the world. So once I did that, I had to think about it, and I was like, right, I think I know what I'm doing wrong, because I'm not generating any new people coming in. You know, my search, my proportionality for people coming in, you know, new subscribers to a subscriber count was basically 95 to 98%. Like, all of my subscribers, you know, all of my views basically came from subscribers, which is really, really bad, because no one new's coming in, you know, no one's discovering the stuff. And the only people that I was getting were either, you know, they chanced upon me and I was like, oh, you know, I have a YouTube channel or something like that. Or, you know, they tell their friends and then they might go and watch me or do something like that. So what I did from there was I spent a lot of time reading guides on how to do SEO, search engine optimization, how to tag, describe, and also add the really good titles to my videos. And on top of that as well, you need to start, I had really sort of started thinking about what sort of videos are people searching for? What sort of videos are people likely to click on? And obviously you don't want to go for like the big sort of things like, you know, say for example, you know, how to team build or something like that. If you want to make a team building guide and you're that size, like, because all of the bigger channels are getting so many views on their videos, there's no way YouTube is ever going to put you up in the search to a point where people are going to find you. What you need to do is find little niches where people haven't thought of something before but are still searching for it, and, you know, other YouTubers haven't built on that. So once you've done that, you need to try and find an idea. I used the Google sort of like, there's a really good Google tool where what you do is you type in keywords, say, you know, best Pokemon to use choice band on, for example, and it will tell you 300 people this month have Googled how, you know, Googled that sort of phrase, and you can go, right, let's have a look at that and see what sort of things come up in search for it. And there'll be nothing in YouTube related to that search, and you can go, right, well, that's great, you know, 300 people are searching for it, no one's made a video on it, let's make a video on it. So then you make a video on it, and people then start to find it, and then you get new people coming into your channel, they watch the video, they go, oh, you know, that was informative, or I enjoyed that, let's go check out his channel and see what else he's got. And that's how you start to pick up from there. Now, in terms of tagging, I'm not going to sort of go into in-depth of how you actually tag. There's a lot of really good in-depth guides on here, but what I'm going to make clear is how you don't tag, right? What I did at the start of my YouTubing career was basically each session had the same description, title, and tags. That's a really, really terrible idea. Every video should have a unique set of sort of SEO like inputs, like as I said, those three things, and that way it means you spread everything out into search. If you end up having the same titles, descriptions, and stuff like that, say I did a Sun Team session and all of my tags are exactly the same and things like that, and if you typed in Pokemon Showdown Sun Team, say, and go down to maybe like the 3rd page or something like that with my terrible tagging, all of my sessions will be there, like right next to each other. Now that's really not a good idea to have. What you need to do is try and have some diversity. So you might have one that's like, you know, you might have, you know, epic executor sweep with, you know, with my Sand team, and you might do a few more tags about executor and maybe some of the things about your opponent's team. And what that means is someone goes, how to make an, you know, how executor Sun team, they might do that and they'll go, oh look, someone's, you know, done a battle with this executor Sun team, let's check that out. And then they'll see the rest of the session, go watch the rest of the session, and potentially subscribe. So you can see how that works from there. So make sure you don't use the same tags for each video. On top of this as well, make sure you're not doing what so many people do. Like, there's a way you can sort of go and view people's tags, and honestly, it's really sad when you see people that have like, a lot of people have these tags where they go, right, Pokemon Showdown, Pokemon, Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, and then they'll go King Nappy, Shady Penguin, Num Nexus, Mega Mogwai, say, for all of their tags, and all they do is just tag, you know, 10-15 PokeTubers. It's just, it's crazy. whatever you do, don't do that, because first of all, it doesn't actually achieve anything, because people think it will bring you up to a related search and you might appear next to a nappy video and people will click to it. But what you'll find is a lot of YouTubers have like a standard like set of tags that they use, and they have a very similar description. And also on top of that, it's all the videos are from the same channel. So YouTube goes, right, that's, you know, those are similar, these videos match really well, they're going up in the related. So that's why I try and make sure I've got a bulk set of tags, a bulk description, and also obviously same channel, and also my sort of end descriptions are always very similar, which is why if you go onto one of my videos, on the related side, most of them are dominated by my videos. So just because you type in Macadii in your tags does not mean you're going to then suddenly appear next to mine. And so many people make that mistake, and it honestly, it makes no difference at all. And it's the same as well, like if someone's watching a nappy vid and there's all these suggested nappy vids and then your vid's there, then they're not very likely to click on your video anyway if you did by some miracle end up being there. So you're much better off using that tagging space to actually put decent tags in and things like that. And what you'll find is if you start doing this and making these videos, the actual views that you'll get from search will dramatically increase. You'll get people coming in from Google, and also because your videos are coming in from search and people are liking them and watching them, you'll end up being more relatable for sort of related content. You'll show up in other people's videos sort of that way, and sort of it's a sort of self-fulfilling cycle from there. And it's definitely, in my opinion, the best way to do it. So when you look at my sort of view count, especially for the sort of amount of people from search, I've got like no one, and then it just wedges up from there. Because each time you make a new video, you're sort of adding extra from there. Because most videos, if they're doing okay in search, will get, you know, I don't know, like, most of mine might get sort of 40 to 5, like the sort of semi-decent ones, and each day. And what that means is that each day you're getting those sort of views, and if you keep making new videos that do well in search and perform well, then you will get that wedge shape, and that wedge shape will continue to grow if you keep making these videos, because you're ending up sort of adding all of these layers of views up. And it's honestly, I feel it's the best way to grow, especially with the way, you know, it is at the minute without the new game hype and stuff like that. Search-based growth seems to be, at least from what I found, seems to be the best model, and it suited me really well. And yeah, to go from 98% of my views coming from subscribers to 26% of my views, you can see, like, it's just absolutely insane. And that's also why I don't worry too much about my sub count. Like, sometimes my sub count will sort of, you know, either drop or, you know, stay stagnant for maybe, I don't know, like a few weeks or so. And you just don't get worried about it. Don't worry about it too much. The main thing is if you keep sort of building up these, you know, searches and getting new people to come in and discover your content, it's definitely the best way to grow. So let's see. So I've been rambling for quite a while. I do apologize for that. But that's definitely what I would say is make sure your tags are good, your descriptions are, as you know, relatively big, and also contain terms that people are going to search for, and the same with your title as well. But don't make clickbait, you know, videos and things like that. Like really clickbaity videos, just like you will get views, but then you'll lose respect and things like that. And after a while, people will stop doing it. It's a bit like things like BuzzFeed and stuff. Like it's got to the point where it's so clickbaity now that no one really takes it seriously, and no one really wants to read what they have to say. Well, a lot of people don't. Maybe that's just me, but it can get to that point with a lot of channels, and you're best off. What you want to do, you need to provide value. You don't want to just get people in for the views and then sort of leave it at that. Which is why, especially like this is the other tricky thing. Like when it comes to advertising, people go, well, what do I do about advertising? Because I know obviously advertising in comments is really really frowned upon. Just don't do it. Don't do it, because it annoys the people watching it, and invariably the people you're spamming it on are people you look up to. And if your channel ever grew up, they would be like, oh yeah, you're the kid that spammed in my comments and stuff like that. So I would really recommend strongly not to do it that way. But if you do want to advertise in any way at all, make sure what you're giving them actually provides value. So say for example, when I was sort of recently starting, I produced these Battling 101 guides, where I was sort of like, you know, 9 quick ways to sort of improve your Pokemon battling skills, and you know, my guide to competitive team building and things like that, which I was not expecting to do well in search, but they were things that provided a lot of value to people, and I made sure that I would put out sort of as much information in there as possible that would provide value, get people interested, and maybe make them interested in, you know, subscribing to my channel. Now, rather than just going everyone and go, oh, check out my new live, or something like that, what would happen was, say, if someone in a Pokemon group was like, oh, look, I'm really struggling with team building and stuff like that, then, you know, this is my team and things like that. I would talk to them, you know, say, oh, you know, this is the changes I would recommend that you make. If you want to learn more, I do actually have a YouTube channel, and, you know, here's a video that you might find really useful. And then they'll watch it, and normally, like 9 times out of 10, they come back and go, oh yeah, that was really fantastic, that was really useful, I learned a lot, you know, thank you for that. And I think that's a much better way to go about advertising than just going, you know, check out this session just cause. You know, you need to provide value to people for them to want to actually click it, and don't stuff it down people's throats, because people don't appreciate it. And even if you do end up forcing people to go and watch it through there, they're not normally your most sort of loyal subscribers. But if they know that you've actually taken the time out to help them and produced a guide that's useful and things like that, then it's definitely a different way to look at it. You guys may not like that approach, but I feel if you want to advertise, that's the only way you've got to advertise, by providing good value that really helps people out. So hopefully these tips will help you guys. For those of you thinking of just starting a channel, or, you know, having a channel at the minute, and also any YouTuber of any size, like as I said, I'm only a YouTube baby. I'm just trying to help as many guys as possible with this, and yeah, hope you guys did enjoy the video. And don't forget to check out Miguel's bits as well, because he made some really good points about the sort of the front end of your channel, and really fantastic points from there. So anyway, hope you guys did enjoy this slight ramble and things like that, and I will see you guys later. Macadii out.